The time has finally arrived. Manticore, the memed or forgotten SMG, is actually viable. Hell, it's more than viable. This thing actually puts in work now. With update 7.3.5, Manticore got a fair few changes listed here. Here's how they actually play out in game, as follows. Instead of providing resist on final blows, the Manticore will now provide void overshield upon defeating targets or sustain damage against any non-red bar enemy. The void overshield is 1/3 of a full shield per proc, and each time this activates, 12 ammo will also be returned to the mag. Hits against non-red bar enemies will automatically activate this effect every 15 shots. This is so much better than the resist effect it had before, as it can activate before defeating a single enemy. The sustain available is what makes this really great. Void overshields have a 50% damage resistance by default, and as you are taking damage, the overshield is getting refreshed with further hits or kills. The mag size you can obtain is pretty insane too. 12 ammo returned for every 15 fired. You could even go positive on ammo if defeating multiple low health targets. But here's the real kicker. The make or break for me was this note. While anti-grav is engaged, enemies will be less accurate. This could be anywhere from incredibly busted to pretty much unnoticeable. Turns out though, it's more towards the busted. Remember this annoyingly accurate ogre. With anti-grav engaged, it kind of just forgets you exist. A simple strafe and you'll be taking pretty much no damage at all. Now obviously you wouldn't be using Manticore for boss DPS, but this just goes to show the difference in being airborne. It's that good that if I wanted to survive in a tough situation, I would jump into the air and activate this perk. Alongside the consistently refreshing void overshield, it's more than enough. The special reload edition is neat too. Long press a reload key to remove anti-grav thrusters on the spot. It's a bit more intuitive than swapping weapons to remove the thrusters, which was often the case before. But you can also just tap jump and stop ADSing to also remove the thrusters. Most of the time I found this to be the even easier option. And the 0.5 second airborne requirement is basically unnoticeable. It just does what it says I suppose, stops the perk being activated accidentally when running downstairs. And that's the changes. But I want to note that the Manticore itself worked in some pretty strange ways I was not even aware of before now. Did you know that the damage bonus granted to Manticore while airborne is increased over time and not at a static value? While anti-grav is engaged, the Manticore's damage will increase by 10% every 0.6 seconds up to a max of 100%. I always assumed it was a static amount. If you want to make the most of this, you could tap fire to extend anti-grav's duration, but I think in most circumstances you will still be better off just holding down the trigger. The ability to reach a 100% damage increase is rather insane though. You don't see values like that on many other weapons. And for charging the anti-grav, it's really simple. Each hit gives 1% of a full charge and each kill 10%. Around 2 mags will be enough for a full bar quite a lot of the time, which does not take long at all considering you're firing at 900 RPM. And what I found really fun about Manticore is with Void Titan. The consistent Void Overshield activates the aspect Offensive Bulwark, which allows for rapid ability regeneration, but it is completely universal. So it could be used on something like Strand in combination with Woven Mail and you'll probably never die again. I think I'll do a separate video on the Void Titan setup though, if it's something people want to see. Thank you for watching.